Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Megalopolis cast. My name is Sal.
I'm Nathan.
I'm Caesar Josiah.
I like that.
That's right. He's on his Megalon phone, so bear with him for this part of the discussion.
The Megalio proton particle.
The good thing is, though, if it rains, it automatically shields me, so I'm fine.
Oh, that's a good point.
And if you get like shot in the face, like you'll be fine after like a scene. So
Yeah,
it's like it never happened.
It's like Heroes Season 2. You know, it's
Oh shit, you're right.
That's a deep cut. You know,
that is. Yeah, but they have the budget to have it heal like one scene slower. So that's pretty. It's pretty cool.
That's something.
If you couldn't tell everybody, we're here to talk about Francis Ford Coppola's Megalopolis: A Fable.
Indeed.
And I have so many things I want to say.
Yes. So I just want to point out, very curious. I think I'm most curious to hear what you have to say, Sal, because while all of us gave it 3 stars on Letterboxd, Sal, you tend to be a bit more generous with your star give outs. So when I see 3 stars, I'm like, oh no. He thinks it's dog shit.
I don't think it's dog shit. I don't think it's a bad movie. Yes, I did also give it 3 stars. We all gave it 3 stars. I thought it was very funny.
Yes. I think it's fitting. It's
3 because my feelings on Megalopolis are, I feel like this movie makes sense to Francis Ford Coppola, and I could see that everything means something to him. The translation did not come to me. I didn't get the translator to understand the movie. So like I know something more is happening, like in every scene, in every moment, and with what he's saying and doing, I feel like I know that there's like something I'm not dimensioned enough to get. But and because of that, I feel like the movie is it has really good performances, it has really interesting editing. I mean, it has good cinematography. Some of the visual effects are not the best, but they're like bold and interesting. So like they're not executed perfectly, but they're like when he's going through the slums and he's seeing like justice and liberty crumbling, I'm like, damn, that's pretty awesome, if not done amazing. I'm like, I see it. I see that he's trying to do something, and I think I really want a director's commentary. And I want to hear him say what I was supposed to be seeing. Because all I saw was go out to the club. And, hey, look at my boner.
How do you like my
boner?
Oh, shit.
Because there's some parts of this movie that I think are pretty profound. Like what the one I said with him going through the slums. And there's a lot of really good scenes. But there's also stuff where, like, spoiler alert, his villains just sort of, like, take care of themselves. And he doesn't have to like do anything to like defeat them.
There's like there's like the one that is the most direct, him and Mayor Cicero. It's just like they have several scenes butting heads, and then the end is kind of just Cicero being like, all right, I'll give it a
guess
shot.
So. And can you guys help me out? I had to go tinky during a scene, and Sean tried to inform me of what I missed. Because I was in the bathroom. Did Cicero say to Caesar that he like hid his wife's body or hid evidence or something?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. He basically says to him, I knew that you were innocent, but essentially it was my attempt to take you out, and then he basically says, this is your insurance. So if you stop seeing my daughter, I will give this to you, and then you can hold it over me forever. So you'll know that no matter what, I'll keep my word.
Gotcha. Okay, that's interesting. I felt a little bit bad because I was like, I have to go pee really bad. So you got a large soda, but then also like, am I gonna miss much? Really, it's Megalopolis. I don't know if I'm. I don't know if I'm missing a lot.
You could either miss the most important thing ever or nothing. You know, it's I guess it kind of depends.
It's either it's either the most important scene ever or it's Claudio doing anything.
To quote Adam Driver from some years ago, I think it's down to whatever the audience gets out of it. It could be nothing.
Oh man, I gotta say it was really subtle naming your two main characters Julia and Caesar and have it be about Rome. That was like really subtle. I thought that was profound.
So let's discuss this because I think ultimately my thoughts about Megalopolis revolve around the ending, but I think we can't do that yet. So let's just start from Jump Street. What do you guys interpret the fictional history of this universe to be?
Francis Ford Coppola really wanted to be about Rome, but also wanted to be about today. So that's what it is.
Yeah. I guess my interpretation is... I guess that the Roman Empire more or less continued on taking the place of the British Empire in history until eventually they colonized the US, and from there it semi-departed from the culture, but is still very much Roman.
Okay, that makes a deal of sense. Like, my concept was that for some reason, because I don't think they say the year this takes place in, do they?
I don't think so.
Okay, so because it says the Roman Empire, the third millennium. So if your theory is correct, Nathan, that would mean we're in like the year, I guess like 2000 something.
Well, but... I will say I don't know, because this could be the weird artsy bit at the end, but like we've had the stone tablet intertitles throughout, and the last one had the Roman numerals at the bottom right for 2024.
2024, yeah.
I guess it's just supposed to be modern, and to be fair, there's not a whole lot of sci-fi-y elements outside of Megalon.
Except for Unobtainium, yeah.
Yeah, it's a Megalodon.
So Caesar Catalina somehow, by watching his wife die, figured out how to create Megalon.
Well, he also can stop time, so he probably had a lot of time to think about it.
Except for when he can't.
So
he was not feeling good that day, Nathan.
Yeah.
The time stopping, I interpreted completely figuratively by the end of the movie.
I don't know, man. She sees him do it.
Okay, yes, because
That's
he is supposed to be like Francis Ford Coppola, so he can control the narrative somewhat.
Yeah.
It's... But what I'll say is, I think my feelings about Megalopolis is that I feel like I did understand a lot of this movie. The problem is that I feel like Francis Ford Coppola wanted to tell a very simple story, but in the most complicated way possible. So when the movie ends with, okay, Megalopolis is open, and now who knows what happens? I was kind of cold because I wanted to know how we were going to transition into Megalopolis. Like, how would people live there? Like, I guess we kind of saw it, but I understand that he has the line about utopia isn't actually being perfect. It's just opening up the possibility for asking questions. So I get that the ending of the movie is, hey, this is fiction, titillating your mind with what our utopia could be in the real world. But we just didn't see anything interesting in regards to how people adjust from the old world into the new. It's just like, well, there's a kid and they'll probably be adjusted to it.
Also, we never see them actually building Megalopolis. We see them like fucking around in like rooms, like discussing the possibility, and then all of a sudden, like, it's built, and it happened at some point.
I just feel like I would be more interested in a movie after this that is about Megalopolis is built and how are we going to what is society going to look like now? But the movie is almost essentially the movie is one big statement of, hey, you know, this is the world we live in, and we could have something better, which is a very noble thing. I want more hopeful cinema, but ultimately the film didn't really expound on its message enough. It was very simplistic. It was just, well, we could have something better. It's like, yes, we all agree that could be the case. But
and there were some interesting points brought up where they were talking about how, like, you know, Caesar was like basically taking down like the ghettos and stuff, and like making people not have a home anymore. And it's like, is he the bad guy? Like, is this like actually like, is there going to be like a twist where like the narrative acknowledges the awful things he's doing, but it kind of doesn't?
Well, see, I will say, I feel like this movie did a really good job, by and large, of making everyone kind of morally ambiguous.
Except for Wild Platinum. She was never morally ambiguous.
No, not at all. She was just a dummy.
She was at the start.
So
yeah, the very start. The money bunny, but yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit. And I forgive her for that.
Yeah, we forgive Wild Platinum of her crimes.
Yeah, I pardon her. And
so awful. Oh my god.
And so it's funny. For the I think I kind of had the opposite experience where I actually did kind of enjoy the ending, because I took it more as the meta of Caesar Catalina is able to realize his vision as Francis Ford Coppola is with the movie, and you know, maybe it's great, maybe it is heavily flawed, but he finally got the backing that he needed to see that it's done. So I was kind of like, you know, it's kind of nice. But the path to get there was.
Here's what I'll say. I'll say that in some ways this is the most important movie of the year. I'm hoping that this movie becomes, you know, in retrospect, something very profound.
I think upon analysis, it might be more looked more upon more fondly.
I think, and I think, you know, I think that is. I'll stand by that. I think it is a very important movie. I think it's a very fun movie. Honestly, I was very entertained. But do I think that this will be regarded in the same way as, you know, I don't want to, you know, comparisons to The Death of Nuance, but will this be regarded in the same way as The Godfather? No, I don't think so. But, you know, they're important in different ways, you know, and I think that, Nathan, you're right, is that Coppola got to do his vision, and honestly, the cool thing was I went in with no expectations other than I want to see this guy's vision, and so I feel on that front the movie succeeded. It was just, you know, very, very inconsistent in a lot of other aspects, which is why I gave it 3 stars. I'm like, look, this movie's solid. Like, it's not a bad movie, but I can't in good conscience give this like 5 stars just because it's important.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Well, that was like, that's what I said in my review, was if I could use one word to describe this movie, it would be inconsistent, because like, and you know, I'm in no way advocating for the current studio method of producing movies that we have now, but it does feel like, in part because of the unrestrained creativity for Coppola, and I know that he gave the actors a lot of freedom to improvise and all this kind of stuff. Like, there are moments of brilliance and there are moments of complete, like, I don't know if this needed to be smoothed out in like another redraft or something, or just like what, but it is one of the most inconsistent movies I've seen. But I originally planned, and I kind of wish I had done this double feature before, because watching Megalopolis, it made me want to rewatch it. But I was gonna watch Metropolis beforehand, which is I think it's Fritz Lang, his 1927 movie, like one of the first sci-fis that was also this kind of like big, grandiose futuristic, mildly dystopian, like alternate history kind of sci-fi, and I feel like Megalopolis. When I first heard about it, I thought it was like a really close companion piece to Metropolis, and then as it got closer, I was like, it seems like it's going to be a little bit more straightforward and not as like art house feel, but I do feel like that would be a solid double feature to do both of those, because I feel like there's that same, like, you gotta look a bit past the surface to figure out what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, and also I think the movie felt very like almost like kind of Shakespearean in a lot of ways.
Yes.
Like I felt like it was gonna at points be like it feels like you're watching a movie in like a almost English language, like it feels like off from English, like
yeah,
and it kind of just heightened I think like the otherworldliness of the movie for me.
And it's I feel like that kind of led to the differing performances. Like I would say that Adam Driver is probably the most consistently good throughout this movie. Like his performance is great. I was like partway through listening to him when I was like, I'd love to see this guy do some Shakespeare like on stage. See what that's like.
I mean, like half of his lines are just quoting other people, so I get you.
Exactly. Yeah, he's right there.
Well, when he was first doing Hamlet, I was like so locked in. I'm like, this movie is going to be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
So what was
up
like with
doing his weird gestures and all kinds of stuff?
Yeah.
Like,
what was up with Lawrence Fishburne's character?
That's kind of the weird thing,
because he's like a narrator, but also like his like driver. And it feels like there'd be a deeper level.
It was supposed to be like he was, this concept of the Greek chorus. He's like a minor character who's actually the narrator. So he observes everything, but he doesn't really do anything. So it felt very like he was doing a kind of a theater-based thing there. I was wondering if there was a deeper aspect to his character. I don't believe there is on this viewing, but yeah.
I did love how it was handled, because first he's just narrating, and it's like, oh, cool, they got him as the narrator. And then you see him, and it's like, oh, okay, so maybe he's like chronicling this after the fact. But then there's times where he, like what we assume is non-diegetic narration is in fact happening within the world. It's like, oh, this is cool. This is weird, but
maybe Lawrence Fishburne is Coppola, and it's not Caesar.
Oh, there we go.
I think Coppola's actually anti-WoW.
Oh shit, you're right. I think Coppola is Robin Hood.
Check out my boner.
Oh my! I can't.
That got such a good reaction.
Oh, see, I watched this in a teeny tiny theater with one other person.
Yeah, I was in a group with like another group, but they didn't really say anything, thankfully. But the whole movie, Sean and I kept turning towards each other, giving like the like what the fuck face, like the whole movie. And like I was like sitting at the edge of the seat sometimes. Like I was like, oh my, what the fuck is this? What's happening? Help me.
When Jon Voight shot Shia LaBeouf in the ass twice, I think the other guy in the theater chuckled, and I was like, yeah, this is I was not expecting this.
I think I laughed out loud, when he busted out the crossbow and popped Auntie Wow in the forehead or in the chest.
Holy fuck.
What's up with the tuba player that became Shia LaBeouf's henchman?
And who had the Black Star Nazi occult symbol on his head.
Yeah, and then stood on a Nazi tree stump? What the fuck was that about?
Yeah.
Well, because it's weird because
because Shia LaBeouf is Trump.
Is he? I don't know, man.
Kind of.
I mean,
I think he kind of is.
Or he's like he unless the movie is saying that Jon Voight is what Trump could be, and Shia LaBeouf is like the misguided people who are weird about Trump.
Well, because at first it's like Shia LaBeouf's character is like, the party boy, whatever, but then like, I don't know, he has like good points. Like, you know, why is Caesar tearing down all this like low-income housing to build his like supposed utopia?
But the thing is that he makes good points, but the issue is that the movie is saying that very quick violent change is bad and it needs gradual change through people like Caesar who have a vision. If you just want change for change's sake and take pleasure in that, that is a bad thing.
I don't know about that.
I would also say that to me it comes across as if his morals are actually bullshit and they're just reactionary to do whatever the opposite is that Caesar wants to do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he does not come across as someone who has thought out what his stance is.
No.
So
not at all. No. He's definitely an opportunist, but also advocating for, I think, viable things. It's weird how the film didn't touch on that whole like aspect of Caesar's character.
Yeah. Again,
well, that's kind of what I mean. Is I feel like there's another 30 minutes missing from this movie before the ending.
Yeah, this shouldn't have been. This should not have been shorter than The Substance.
No. Even though it's 2 minutes, it should have been at least 20 minutes longer than The Substance.
At least.
We'll get the director's cut. Coppola will sell off another part of his vineyard to.
Oh my god, a Megalopolis director's extended cut. I think I would. Oh, I'm scared.
Director's cut with director's commentary.
Please.
Then we're in the gold.
Yeah, this movie is really funny because I just am loving seeing all the various reactions to it. I think it's so cool that we have a movie that is so controversial for interesting reasons, for the most part.
Interesting reasons. Yeah. It's definitely.
Oh, please. All right, I'll hop in. I was gonna say I do feel bad that like from what I'm seeing, and I'm just very generally browsing, not like seeking things out, but like as far as articles and shit, all of the criticism of Megalopolis feels so just mean-spirited, and I know that's to be expected given that it's, you know, him going up against big Hollywood, but like I was reading one the other day where it was like, oh yeah, industry insiders were already calling this Megaflopolis months in advance, and I'm like, why are we celebrating that Francis Ford Coppola lost a bunch of his own money? And then like you see people who are like fully supporting it. It's like, yeah, you said that you know Marvel movies suck, so look at him. And it's like, what? Come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, why are you sticking up for studios?
The top liked review on Letterboxd is that shit's such megacocculus.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Which is funny, but also like I don't think it did.
No.
I did put in my review that this movie, to me, I saw one person compare it to the Star Wars prequels. I don't think I wouldn't necessarily draw that comparison fully, but to me, it felt a lot like Matrix Resurrections in a lot of ways. Being a love story that is fully the creator's vision, that doesn't care like if you think that it's weird or off the mark. But I saw people comparing it to Southland Tales. I don't know if you've seen that movie.
No.
It's the Donnie Darko director. He did this crazy movie that is very similar to this called Southland Tales. With Justin Timberlake.
This did feel very. I did get Donnie Darko vibes sometimes in watching Megalopolis.
I still haven't seen Donnie Darko, so.
Oh man, we gotta do the double feature.
Yeah, classic.
There we go.
Yeah.
You know what was.
The double feature, the theatrical cut and then the director's cut.
And then S. Darko, yeah.
And oof. Okay. But yeah, no, yeah, I was on board with this movie being weird. I just honestly I think I've explained I just wanted more. I wanted it to go deeper, I felt like I had drinks with Coppola and he was saying some very interesting stuff, but then he had to go like take his wife home before we could finish the conversation. And he was drinking a lot, you know. It was crazy.
It was sloshed.
We were in our vineyard, you know. It was crazy.
It's just the circus scene where he's like breaking the bottle.
Oh god.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely feel like people are being very and from what I understand, a lot of the leaked stuff that was trying to burn Coppola was a very disgruntled people who got fired because essentially they were trying to run it like a studio film when Coppola is completely in control and it's his right to do whatever he wants, and they were kind of resentful that he had complete control, and so they were fired because they were, you know, as far as I understand it. So it seems like the studios and the general media are not throwing Coppola very many bones. They're kind of fine with people tearing down the movie for various reasons.
Yeah, no, he's I think what is it? I think he's suing some publication for straight up defamation because of all the shit that it's been posting. So I'm like, yeah, get him. That's how you get your money back.
Oh,
it was the plan all along.
Yeah.
So I think everybody should go see Megalopolis in theaters.
100%.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Just to experience Megalopolis and know what the Megalon is, and enjoy Caesar and Julia Caesar. It's really good. WoW Platinum is the character of the year.
Yeah, there's gonna be people pausing a lot of scenes and rewinding for sure.
What was up with the singer? And then like she just then was like, yeah, anyway, I've revamped my career like JoJo Siwa, and then she was never in the rest of the movie.
She had that Miley Cyrus bit, and then
I think that's all that was, where it was like, hey, look how the entertainment industry ruins these young people. And
anyway,
it's like, oh shit, you're right.
Speaking of entertainment industry ruining young people,
oh no,
Josiah and I watched The Substance.
Yeah, we did.
We watched The Substance, and I gotta tell you, not much substance there. Sorry, I had to do it. Go on.
No, yeah, I was expecting it. The funny thing is that I think, although actually, if you check on Letterboxd, if people check my 2024 list rank, they will see that Longlegs has dropped quite a few spots now that I've thought more about it. So, you know, I won't bring that up. But I think this is the first movie of the year that Sal liked less than me, actually.
Yo, I really dislike The Substance. It was oh man.
Yeah, I'm curious to know, because your review was I think you kind of illustrated what your overall take was pretty succinctly, but I am curious if you have any more nuggets about your thoughts, because for me my problems entirely hinge on like the last 15 minutes. I think they dropped the ball and they could have had something special here, but okay, listen, I will say this. I, as a sicko, enjoy the last 20 to 25 minutes of the movie. As a storyteller, get that shit out of here. Like, that was not... Yeah. Like, I think Sean and I were talking about it, but we thought that would be a good, like, DVD special extra. Right. Where it's like the third substance entities experiences. Mm-hmm. Because it was not really I don't think needed for the story or for anything. It just did it for like the fun of it. My issues with The Substance are basically that, okay, so that you watch the trailers, you start the movie, and then within the first 10 to 15 minutes you're like, okay, so like the opening line, the opening hook, the thesis statement of this movie is, isn't it messed up what the industry does to young women or women in general? Mm-hmm. And then you're like, cool. And what a good thesis statement. And then that's all the movie says on repeat for the rest of the fucking film. And you keep waiting for it to go like a bit deeper than that. And for 2 hours and 20 minutes, it really doesn't. It just basically repeats like, hey, isn't it messed up what the industry does to women? And it's like, yes, it is. Are you going to like explore any deeper into that?
No, it doesn't. It introduces the substance, and like there's so many problems I have with the substance itself. Like, okay, so some random guy checks her spine in the hospital and is like, you'd be a good candidate. And she calls and she's like, I want the substance. And they're like, okay, go to this creepy Amazon locker. And then she does it, and then she just gets it and has all these instructions and she follows it. But like, okay, and then it makes a new version of her from the substance that lives its own 7-day life, and they switch up every 7 days. But like, there's never a scene where it's like, okay, so like, what's Sue? Who's the substance? Who's the girl that came out of her from the substance? What's her social security number? Does she have a birth certificate? Does she have anything like anything at all?
Right.
Like what? Like how much is the substance? How much is Lizzie Sparkle paying for the substance? Is it anything? Like, what are they observing? Do they know what's happening? Is it just an experiment? Like, I feel like the movie set up a lot of interesting things about the substance and the company that makes it. Like, there's a scene where she goes to the creepy Amazon locker to get another, dose of food stuff. And there's like screaming in the distance. And I'm like, oh, so like we have to come back here by the third act to see what the secret of the substance is. And we never do. And there's just they set up a lot of like interesting ideas, but then just don't ever dig any deeper into them.
I think in terms of like how much she's paying the company that makes it, those aspects I literally was just gonna as a gimme to the movie. This is what we need to do to make the movie happen. I don't need to understand why they have such advanced technology in the modern day. Who cares? So for me, I didn't really think of that. But the Social Security thing, birth certificate, I almost saw that as like further commentary of, oh yeah, they'll literally take women into certain types of film sets and they'll ask their age. And they can show them an ID and they won't look that close. And they'll just say, yeah, we'll pay you in cash. Who cares?
That's now, probably like, what it's trying to do, yeah.
What happens in the movie. But I believe that's what it's trying to say is they don't even know her last name. Like, to me, the substance, the thing about it was that it was kind of writing this line where it was satirical, but so much of the movie was so much of the mechanics of how the substance works is so intricate, like intricately presented to the audience, that it's half satire and half, no, you really need to understand like the mechanics of what the substance is.
Yeah.
And I admired it for that. Like it was very well executed in how it took us through this process. But then again, Nathan, I don't know if you care about me spoiling the ending at all.
No, I've seen the stuff, so however can it be?
Yeah. So it spoilers for the substance. By the end, essentially what happens is that the second being, the Sue created from Lizzie Sparkle, kills Lizzie Sparkle, and she's they are linked, they are one. So she decides, I'm going to take that activator, even though you're only supposed to use it once. And so this split-off human dilutes themselves even more, and the split-off becomes this horrifying, the Thing Cronenberg abomination. And it goes to this, a New Year's party, like this New Year's event the network is hosting that Sue was supposed to host. And so the movie starts doing this thing where I'm like, oh, this is going to be a brilliant ending, where she puts on the cutout of her face from the picture that's been in her apartment. And the guy lets her in, even though she's very clearly a monster in a dress. And I was like, okay, this is great. This is fantastic. And so then she starts hallucinating that everyone's applauding her and saying how beautiful she is. I'm like, okay, this is brilliant. Wonderful satire. Excellent. And she gets onto the stage, and then the light comes on. And then for like a minute, the audience is like confused, but they're not like horrified that there's this ogre monster here. And then after a minute, suddenly it starts doing the crash zooms on people screaming, and someone comes up and knocks her head off, geysers of blood. Then her arm snaps off, and like blood just starts spraying for 10 minutes all over the audience. Like it's absurd. It's like nasty. It's bitter.
Nathan,
it's just like,
he's also not really exaggerating. That it really was like,
oh,
just spinning.
Yeah. And so that just continues, and so there's two endings I would have preferred to this, because it just ends with her becoming sludge that crawls onto her star on the Walk of Fame that we saw at the beginning of the movie, and then she just melts into it, gets cleaned up in the morning. Like, really, like, gross, depressing ending. I get it. You wanted to be one of the grossest movies of all time. You succeeded. But what if the ending was she's a monster, and she goes on the stage, and the audience is confused, and then they just start applauding and, like, cheering. And then the ending is, like, a great satire, because it's like, oh, get it? They're applauding this, like, perverted thing that they created, when we're seeing, like, the inside of the person that they've ruined by how the industry operates. What a great, like, satire that would be. That would have been a better ending. And then also, we set up this really nice guy who wants to go out with Lizzie Sparkle, and he seems like a really, like, lovable dork. What if the ending of the movie was her going, you know what? I've made a lot of mistakes. I'm not attractive now, but I'm gonna, like, try to improve and move forward with my life. And the end of the movie is just, like, her meeting up with him for a date, and we just don't see what happens. You know, like, that's at least, like, I know it's a horror movie and people don't want horror movies to end, like, positively, but that too would have been a better message of, okay, yeah, the industry's horrible, women are treated horrible in the industry, but you know what? What's really of value is what's inside you, not the outside.
I also thought it was going to end when she first looked up and the substance monster saw itself in the mirror. I thought I was going to just, like, you know, do a cut and be like, bam, all right. That's it.
Yeah. Less would have been more in this case. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it really didn't need to be longer than Megalopolis.
No, it didn't.
No, it sounds terrible.
And the filmmaking craft is great. Like, I really like the filmmaking here. But
yeah, like the and, like, also when she's like a monster, it looks so good. Like, the practical effects are amazing. Like, she looks gross and awful, and then also, like, you know, as Sue, the substance version of Lizzie, is, like, taking more and more from Lizzie, because, like, you're supposed to switch every 7 days, but then Sue starts to, like, you know, take basically what Sue has to do to get activate her. She has to activate once a day to keep maintaining her form. So what they have her do, which is so fucked up, and also she just kind of knows this, she has to, like, shove a giant, like, needle in Lizzie Sparkle's spine and extract spine juice to then take a little vial to stab into herself. So, like, she does it once where she gets an extra few hours because she has a boy over and she wants to fuck him. And then the next day when Lizzie Sparkle wakes up, her finger's like an old, like, gross and disgusting. And then, you know, Sue takes a bit more, Lizzie gets more gross. And by the end, like, Sue has been, like, living for, like, 3 months, just taking out, like, buckets of spine juice. And by the end, like, Lizzie Sparkle looks like a fucking hag from the Vivitch.
Oh, yeah, man. She looks like the Shining lady.
Yeah, the Shining lady in the tub. Yeah.
And honestly, like, that was so good. Again, like, I understand you could have pushed it farther, but I think seeing her, like, running around like this naked hag, that was enough of the body horror to really cement yourself as a memorable movie. You didn't need to go too much farther with it, you know, like, to the point of covering the audience in 15 layers of blood, you know.
Well, but the 15 layers is even more memorable. Or
it's true. Yeah, you know, I just ultimately I think I do agree with Sal. Is like, I was gonna be down for it being longer than Megalopolis if they at least did something closer to what maybe I suggested. Like, really bring that satire home, because as it stands, the satire doesn't really land, because, oh, let's just be angry and bitter and enjoy making people suffer through grossness, you know? I don't know.
I wanted more. I thought, like, I thought this was just, I don't know, man. It seemed like, because when I saw the runtime, I was like, oh my god, okay, let's go.
Yeah. It honestly, like, no exaggeration, this had potential to be possibly my favorite movie of the year. Like, it had that potential within it, but you know,
but it's no,
I would have
it's
left the review that
it's no challengers.
I would have, yeah, I would have left a review that would have said, "This is my Barbie," you know.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'll watch Challengers at some point, I'm sure.
It's really good. Yeah, I had to put The Substance under Long Legs on my list of movies for the year.
Ooh.
Wow.
Ooh. I couldn't do that, but I understand why you did.
At least Long Legs, like, I don't know. They're right next to each other. You know what I mean?
I feel like the Substance characters are more the two main characters are more relatable than any characters in Long Legs, but I will say that.
I just don't understand why.
Oh, please. No.
I just don't understand why you would ever take The Substance. It seems like there's no real benefit other than you get to like wake up every 7 days and see what a younger, better version of yourself has been doing.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, it's trying to show you that you know, you can live this ridiculous life of not eating and working out twice a day and getting plastic surgery, but ultimately you're going to be a husk.
Yeah.
Anyway, Nathan.
I was just gonna say, I randomly remembered that I feel like Shia LaBeouf in Megalopolis reminded me of Nicolas Cage in Long Legs, just appearance-wise, because he looked weird.
He got the stringy hair, that's for sure.
Yeah, and it feels like he got like, I don't know, like Botoxed around his face or something. Like it took me a second to recognize him in that movie.
But hey, at least The Substance is better.
I think it was his eyebrows too.
Yeah.
The Substance is better than Speak No Evil.
Oh,
well, that's good.
That's good.
Not as good as Megalopolis, though.
Well,
no,
yeah.
No.
I didn't figure.
What are you going to ask, Joe?
No, I was going to say, where did you put Speak No Evil? I haven't checked your list in a little bit.
Speak No Evil is number 30 out of 31 films I've seen this year.
Wait, so is Long Legs the bottom?
No, Long Legs is number 28.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
31 is obviously Deadpool Wolverine.
Yes, yeah.
Very good. Very happy. That's
Yes, thank you. Megalopolis is number 26.
Hey, you know, that's something.
Yeah, that's higher.
Yeah.
That's almost in the top 25.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Now I want to talk about the third movie that came out this week in theaters. Because this week had 3 movies come out: Megalopolis, the Substance, and DreamWorks' The Wild Robot.
Oh yeah.
Which I gotta say was the best movie this week. It was.
I believe you.
I went into it because I had seen my last 2 movies were like Speak No Evil and The Substance, and I was like, "Fuck, man, I need something else at the moment. I gotta watch something that's different because my next movie is like Megalopolis. I needed a break, so like I went into Wild Robot, and I was fucking rewarded with an amazing movie that was so well animated, so well done, so well crafted, so well acted, so well paced, and it really fucked me up. I want to go too deep into like the movie because I know you two hadn't seen it yet, but it really did fuck me up. I cried multiple times during the movie. It really was a powerful, great film. I can't again, the animation was so marvelous, and the way they crafted the story of essentially like a robot is on its way to its owner. It's like a helper robot, and it crash lands on this uninhabited island, and it's trying to find someone whoever ordered the robot, and she has to like fulfill like a request for whoever wants to fulfill a request because she's a helper robot. And there's a lot of awful things that happen on the island when she first gets there. Everything hates her, thinks it's trying to kill them. She eventually like hibernates for like a week or two, learning all the animals' languages. So then after that point in the movie, all the animals can talk. And she falls. She gets chased by a bear and falls into a bird nest and basically crushes all of the eggs except for one. And so she picks up the egg. It hatches. It's a gosling, and it now thinks that the robot's its mother. So the movie becomes like her, having to help raise this gosling, and the journey of how do you, an outsider, help teach this runt how to grow up when they're not even the same, like, this is a living thing, you're a robot. And the adventures they go on and the bond they form with the island. It's a movie that in the first 5 minutes I actually did feel I got a little choked up in the first 5 minutes because I knew that eventually it would fuck me up, and I was right. Like, I got the vibe where I was like, this movie's gonna kill me, isn't it?
You can always tell with this particular kind of movie.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, this isn't just gonna be happy fun time.
Yeah, this isn't an Illumination movie. I'm gonna cry. It's like, hey,
I think I think I want to double feature The Wild Robot with Transformers 1,
which I've also heard is a good movie.
Yeah, me too. I've heard great things.
Of the two, I was more interested in this because,
well, yeah.
But it has a good cast. It's got Lupita Nyong'o's in it, she was also in Quiet Place Part Day 1 this year as well. She plays the main robot in this. Pedro Pascal plays like a fox. I didn't even know it was Pedro till the movie was ending and it said Pedro Pascal, and I was like, the fuck? He did not sound like himself. He did not just have like the Pedro voice.
Oh wow. Okay.
Matt Perry's in it. Or Matt Berry.
I was gonna say Matt Perry's dead, isn't he?
Recipes. Ving Rhames, Mark Hamill, Bill Nighy, Catherine O'Hara. It was a well-made movie. It was where did I put it in my list for the year? It took the number 7 spot.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It's up there. I mean, there's like, honestly, like, I can't think of any flaws with the movie. It was perfectly crafted, perfectly paced, very well animated, very well acted. Like, I can't. There's really
Pixar better watch out.
Yeah, it's in the category where it's like, now we're just like on vibes. Where do I rank this?
Interesting. Okay, yeah, because I heard it's based on a children's book, so I would imagine that helped a bit with like structuring stuff.
Yeah,
DreamWorks, I feel, it tends to be a little hit or miss. I think it's been a while. I mean, I might just need a refresher, but I think it's been a while since they've made a terrible movie.
Didn't people not like Kung Fu Panda 4?
Probably not. I didn't like Kung Fu Panda 3, so I'd assume that's.
I didn't even watch 3.
Oh, it's not great. No, it's the worst of the first 3. I was gonna say it's not terrible, but it's just, especially after 2. But they did also do Puss in Boots: The Last Wish recently.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But then they also did Ruby Gillman Teenage Kraken that no one saw.
What did you just say?
Yeah, no, you didn't hear
At first I thought he said Teenage Crackhead, and I was like, I can't. That's not allowed.
When he first said Ruby, I was like, R-U-B-Y? R-W-B-Y?
No. Not Rawooby.
Rawooby?
Yeah.
No, they fight the Justice League now.
That's right. They fight MJF as Killer Croc.
Great, perfect,
amazing.
The Wild Robot is solidly in my watch list.
Good.
I'm interested, very interested.
Yeah, I'll have to add it in myself.
Yeah, it bumped up the list for me. It took over Alien Romulus in my list.
Oh.
But Alien Romulus would be higher if it didn't have necromancy. So,
I think we all agree.
Yeah, no, it's true.
if it didn't have that, it would be up there. But unfortunately, gotta kick it down a little bit.
Well, speaking of necromancy,
oh my god, is it time?
It's not time for quite what you think. But in my list of random movies that gets recommended to me, I'm sorry, listen, the segue was there. I had to take it. We'll circle back. But I watched Paganini Horror, which is a 80s Italian horror movie. It claims to be a horror musical. It's not really. It's just a horror movie that has a band in it that plays songs occasionally.
Nice, dude. Yes, that counts.
Yeah. No, it's fair. But I was really excited for this movie because if you look it up, the poster is so cool.
It's sick, bro. It's
this looks amazing. But I forgot that it's an 80s Italian horror movie, which in my experience tend to be kind of and this kind of fit. But basically, there's a rock star who had like a big single like a few years ago and has been trying to recapture that feel, but
aren't we all?
Was in many ways. In many ways, this is a parallel for Francis Ford Coppola and Megalopolis.
Oh my god!
Sorry. So in an attempt to hit it big again, she has a friend obtain unrecorded music from Niccolo Paganini, a famous music writer. But it turns out that the music is cursed, and when they play the music, it summons the ghost of Paganini, who is on the poster. You see, he looks like a skeleton with a flute. It unfortunately just looks like he's wearing a really shitty costume party skull mask.
Dude, I love Italian Doctor Doom.
Yeah, no, that is what he is. But yeah, I think the funny thing is the most interesting part of this movie was how I ended up researching things because of it, because I've noticed that a lot of Italian horror movies from the 70s and 80s that I've seen, they all have this really god-awful ADR. And sometimes, like in this movie especially,
we just talk like that, Nathan. It's not a big deal.
No, there's a reason. But they're speaking English and they're just dubbed over. Yeah. And it's especially funny because this movie has Donald Pleasance in it, and
yes!
I don't know if he dubbed himself or if when he did he had a really bad cold, but he ended up sounding like he had like a way deeper voice, and I was like, is this just distortion? It added to the experience a little bit. But I was just curious. I don't know how much exposure and experience you guys have with this, but do you know why older Italian movies have really shit ADR?
Nathan, why do older Italian movies have shit ADR?
I'm so glad you asked. Joe, do you have something you want to share with the class?
I'm not sure if you know the reason, but as far as I understand it, most Italian movies don't ever record audio. Like they just always dub it.
In fact, they for the longest time were not allowed to record audio, because this was a weird leftover law from the time of Benito Mussolini, who
I know that guy.
Yeah, good old El Duce. And he put this censorship law out that said that movies had to be recorded silently and then have the sound recorded separately so that a representative of the Bureau could review the sounds being recorded to ensure there was nothing seditious or traitorous being included in the arts, and I guess that just made it easy for him. And for whatever reason, it's just a law that stuck around a few decades past World War II. I think that eventually went away in like the 90s or something, but
they just kind of forgot.
They just kind of forgot. It's just one of those weird laws that. So.
Wow.
I think I would have liked this movie more if it didn't have that, because I tend to find that distracting.
This movie would have been better without fucking Mussolini, all right?
Yeah.
That
Thanks, I'll do
son of a bitch.
Bring him up like Shia LaBeouf. That's not a threat. I apologize.
Oh, shit. No, it's that's a reference. Shit.
That happened in hit film Megalopolis of Fable.
Speaking of hit film...
oh my god.
I took a little trip to
the Asylum.
I clicked that way sooner, and the timing would have been great, but it
worked well on my end, which is the only end that matters.
Oh, good. So this week's trip to
Asylum.
Okay, that one was off. That one sucked.
King of the Ants. Oh, that one was good for me. Damn it.
You don't matter.
I know. Shit.
Sorry.
No, you're right. You're the one recording. Fuck. So King of the Ants follows this young fella that's kind of just looking for work. He is freelance painting houses. And he gets in contact with, a clearly like mob-ish representative who gets him in contact with a guy where the first time I saw him and started listening to him, I was like, this guy is putting on a pretty decent Alec Baldwin impersonation. And
oh my god, I'm sorry, I almost spoiled the plot. Go on.
And I decided to look it up because I wanted to be able to reference, and lo and behold, Daniel Baldwin is in this movie. Which officially made me realize that I have lost track of how many Baldwin siblings there are. But apparently there's enough where I did. I guess there's enough of them for one of them to be in an Asylum movie.
Daniel Baldwin, Frank Stallone. You always gotta have an extra line around.
You do to take you back.
Sorry.
But so I'll be brief about this one because there's one little part of it that just makes the whole movie fall apart. But basically, he gets in touch with Alec Baldwin, who's like, "Hey, I'm a real estate gangster guy."
Daniel Baldwin.
Yeah, that one.
Autocorrected to the more renowned Baldwin.
I did, Mr. Baldwin.
Mr. Baldwin.
I'll keep it vague, and people will pay attention because they think it'll be the important one. But he's like, "Hey, listen, there's this guy who's investigating my shady business dealings, trying to oppose my real estate stuff that I'm doing. I want you to follow him around and report on him and stuff." And so the kid's doing it for a little bit, and then one night, Mr. Baldwin shows up at the kid's house, drunk as a skunk. And he's just like, "Hey, if I gave you $5,000, would you kill this man for me?" And the kid's like, "That seems a little low. How about 15?" And he's like, "How about 10?" He's like, "No, it's still a little too low." He's like, "All right, how about 13?" And he's like, "Okay." And so,
he
goes, yeah, you got him. So he goes and kills the guy, and he comes back, and they're like, "Why the fuck did you kill him? We need, like, now it looks suspicious. Now we're in the back." And he's like, "Man, I just do what you told me. And he's like, I don't remember that. Fuck you. And so they're at first going to run him out of town, and it seems very apparent that they're actually just going to kill him off. So he gathers up all of his data and notes on the guy that he was following and adds in his own notes and observations. That's apparently very incriminating of Baldwin and his lackeys. And he's like, hey, listen, if anything happens to me, all of this stuff will come out. Which, to me, if I hear someone say that, my assumption is they have some kind of setup where they don't have the incriminating evidence on them, but it is with someone trusted who they need to like check in with, so that, and if they don't check in, they'll leak it, because that's how you have insurance for that type of thing. That makes sense, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So they decide. They take him out to the middle of the desert where Mr. Baldwin has this random, like, mostly finished house and barn. And and Baldwin's like, all right, listen, I'm not going to kill you, but if I force you to drink a bunch of whiskey and beat the dog shit out of your head specifically, you'll forget about all the stuff you have, and then you can go. And so they hold him for days, for it seems like a week or so. And so my assumption is, okay, they must not think that he's checking in with someone. They just think he's got the evidence. And if they think he's got the evidence and that he would be the one to leak it, why don't you just kill him? Because then he also can't leak the evidence, right? Like, I was so confused, because I was like,
think
why?
He just wanted a drinking buddy.
I think so. It's fair. And he he's always golfing, and so when he decides to beat his brains in, he's like, I'm going to use my golf club, but I don't want you to fuck up my golf club, so I'm going to put this thin sheet of foam around your face, and then he whacks him. Yeah, it's all very funny. Speaking of the rotting old woman from The Shining, the most bizarre moment of this movie, when the guy is like super out of it from all the drinking and beatings, he hallucinates someone who looks like a combination of the rotting old woman from The Shining and the really big fat guy in Highlander: The Source. And she is shitting out of her vagine and shoves his head into it, and this never comes back. This is one little 10-second clip. Very odd. And he but then they let him go, and because they're like, oh, you probably don't remember anything, and he still does. He falls in love with the wife of the guy that he fucking killed, and they like have a relationship, and then she finds all the evidence and is like, fuck you, I'm gonna get you arrested. And then he shoves her into a wall and accidentally kills her. And then he takes revenge on the mobster peoples, and that's it. It kind of fizzles out.
I'm still stuck on she's shitting out of her vagina. I'm not.
Yes, yeah, no, I understand. That
was not very well platinum of her.
Actually, it kind of was.
Well, yeah,
Anti-wow.
Oh shit.
That's my pussy anti-wow.
God. But yeah, that was King of the Ants.
It had Peter from Office Space in it.
Cool. Did it?
According to IMDb.
Oh, cool. I don't know. I still haven't seen Office Space. I'm watching through all of the Asylum, but I haven't seen Office Space.
That's That's the most depressing thing I've heard today.
Yeah, understandable.
It's a living.
If only there was a ripoff of Office Space called Office Crash by the Asylum.
You know, maybe. No,
I'll have to report back on that.
No, Office Space was pre-Asylum doing their shenanigans.
Well, see, I think like if they do a really bad Legacy Office Space 2 sequel, then they can do Office Crash.
I hate every word you just said.
Well, let me tell you something. I'm gonna plant this seed, and it's gonna take years to pay off at the rate that I'm getting through their movies. But sometime around the like late 2010s or so, starts doing mockbusters of older movies. Like they go back to like early 2000s movies instead, I guess, because my petty suspicion is that none of the movies in the late 2010s look like they'll draw a crowd, and so they're like, there's no point in ripping that off.
Ouch.
So like they go back and make mockbusters of things they've already made mockbusters of.
Oh Christ.
So it's that's gonna be a wackadoodle time. We're ways away, but we'll get there.
It sounds beautiful, man. Fuck.
Oh, and then really, really briefly, from the 1001 movies, See Before You Die, I watched Limite. It's a Brazilian experimental film from 1931.
Woo, Brazil.
Unfortunately, I thought it sucked. And
That's okay.
maybe I gotta tear up my cinephile card for that. But it was boring as shit.
Boo! You didn't like a thing they tell you you're supposed to like. Boo!
I know. I don't have an appreciation for the arts.
It's not a 1001 films to like before you die. You just have to see them.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
You know what? Just for that, I'm not even going to put it on the thumbnail.
Yeah, no.
Which I am, by the way, actively doing as we're talking about the movies. Which is a lot funner.
I had to watch it at 1.5 speed because I realized.
Oh, wow.
Because it was a 2-hour film, and I realized that we had returned to silent film after I had a brief break from it, and I think my psyche would have broke if I had to give it the full business. Also,
TikTok brain over here, am I right?
Yeah. Well, listen, hey man, that didn't. Oh Jesus! Oh God, that came in so weird for me. That's all right.
It's okay. Your Asylum a moment ago came in weird for me too. So we evened out.
Yeah. Same.
I heard the sound, and then like 10 seconds later, the logo came up, and I was like, "Why? What?
Help!"
Okay. Something's fucky.
I saw on Letterboxd, Nathan, your AVP watch through, I believe, is concluded because you reached Alien Resurrection.
I did finish. I pushed through because I was doing 3 per session, but this last one I did. I think I did Romulus, Aliens, Alien 3, the 40th anniversary shorts, and Alien Resurrections.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a long day of Alien.
And according to your rating, you would put Resurrection at the very bottom, right?
Yeah. I think I gotta. It's so funny. I
did that too. It's okay.
I had been so hesitant to revisit that movie because I was like, I can't remember if this is so bad it's good, or if it's so bad but not entertaining enough to be good. I don't know if it's just a chore. It was kind of somewhere in the middle. I think I think it reignited my dislike of Joss Whedon's writing.
Knowing that he wrote it makes a lot of the movie make way more sense.
Right? It's very Whedon-esque.
Yeah. anything that isn't Whedon is French, and I do like the French parts, but not the Whedon parts very much.
Yeah, you should have done one or the other, and I don't think that Joss Whedon was the person to follow up David Fincher. Maybe they thought it was because, Alien 3 didn't do great, and so they're like, hey, you did Buffy, how about you make an Alien movie? I'm like, okay.
And that's the Buffy movie, which,
Oh, shit, you're right.
is good.
Well, yeah, it led to a whole series.
And fucking it's got Donald Sutherland in it.
Hey, he's in good things.
Yeah, no, he's great. It's also it has Pee-wee as a vampire.
Oh,
right.
The Buffy movie is like good.
So if I just watch that, I don't need to watch like the series.
No, sorry.
whole story.
You have to watch the series and Angel.
Oh,
sorry, I make the rules.
I mean, I've heard they're good, but also they're both like 7 seasons long. And...
Yeah, man. Wow. Joss Whedon wrote Toy Story? What the?
Well, he was one of the writers, yeah.
Okay. I'm like,
oh yeah, that's the other weird thing that I'm surprised that Transformers 1
Joel Cohen
being seen as so good when it's the director of Toy Story 4. I guess
Yeah.
See, I never saw Toy Story 4 because I didn't feel a need to.
Don't.
I think that's how everyone feels.
Don't. Just don't. Don't do it.
That's a crazy list of features that are right for Buffy the Vampire Slayer, then Toy Story, then Alien Resurrection, and then Titan AE.
Oh, fuck.
Oh my god, man. And then it says he did the story for Atlantis Lost Empire, so I don't really count that as a screenplay.
It doesn't count.
And then Nothing Till Serenity.
See, I remember people saying, oh yeah, if you liked Treasure Planet and Atlantis Lost Empire, you should watch Titan AE. And, whoever said that can eat a big old bag of dicks, because Titan AE sucks.
Yeah. Woo! Damn. Yeah, I've been going through Harry Potter. That's been fun. I just finished movie 4. And I think I feel exactly the same as my last go through. Maybe appreciating Goblet of Fire a tiny bit more, for what it is.
Sure.
I'm curious because when I get to Deathly Hallows Part 1, I'm gonna watch it purely for the vibe and the filmmaking, and not think about the fact that there's other movies. And we'll see if that improves.
Because you are not a fan of Part 1, right? Like that's like your bottom.
The best one.
It's my least favorite of the mainline Potter movies as of my last go through.
That's
it used
crazy.
to be Half-Blood Prince. It used to be Half-Blood Prince, but
insane.
Part 1 of Deathly Hallows. Hey,
that's yeah. Half-Blood Prince has that raised significantly, or is that a solid number 2?
I'd say it's a solid second from the bottom.
Okay.
But we'll see. I remember Half-Blood having this weird filter the whole time, over all the film, this weird filter that just makes the cinematography look kind of bad.
I know what you mean. I do know what you mean. It's like weird. It's like greenish sepia.
Yeah. And it's weird because none of the other movies look like that. But it's been good though. I do like going through those movies. At least the first 3 are fantastic, and then I think there's enough left that and the last one, I think Deathly Hallows Part 2 is fantastic. But it's interesting, I haven't committed to doing The Secrets of Dumbledore, but that is the one I haven't seen. So
yeah, you should.
Well, you got to get prepped for the upcoming remake series. So consume all of the previous Potterverse that you can.
I think what my go ahead, sorry.
No, you go first. It's okay. Don't worry about it. I'll say in a second.
I think my plan is to watch the 8 movies and then a Harry Potter sequel, because I watched a Harry Potter musical a while ago. and that'll be my capstone.
There you go.
Should we redo our Harry Potter talk that got lost in the Cursed podcast? Now with Josiah here to give input and insight.
Oh shit!
You have me for 5 minutes.
Never mind. Then I'll talk about the bear instead.
Yay, the bear!
I finished watching The Bear finally.
Sweet.
It was so amazing in every way. I'm finally caught up on The Bear. I've been behind the entire run of the show. It's a very exhausting show, so it's hard to like binge it, I think. But I finally like got the courage to just plow through and get through it, because if I didn't, I'd be stuck for the rest of my life. But the way The Bear is the story of The Bear is told is so interesting, because it feels like a show that's like edited and acted like at the same ferocity as Uncut Gems.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah. It's like a whole show of Uncut Gems.
Yeah, there are some episodes where it's like literally the energy of the most chaotic Uncut Gems scene for like 22 minutes straight.
Oh god.
And then you'll get an episode where it's like this nice, slow, thoughtful, introspective character study. And then back to like, fire everything, chef, now!
Yeah.
It's the characters are so wonderful, and they go on such an interesting arc. And sometimes they don't go on an arc. Sometimes someone's arc is I don't want to go on a character arc, you know? There's this one guy who works at the restaurant who literally is like, I don't want to change. Like I'm happy I'm happy the way I am. It's interesting, man, and like it's hard to talk about because it's a purely a show about characters interacting. Like it's literally character interaction of the show.
Yeah, the overall plot is incredibly simple. But that's good because it gives us so much time, like you're saying, for these, you know, like you're saying, you'll have an episode where it's a one take for 22 minutes of just madness. And then you never know if you're going to get that or you're going to get those slower, more artistic episodes. So it's like playing Russian roulette, but you get quality either way. So it's great.
Yeah, honestly, it's the structure is so interesting. It really does benefit from it's short runtime. It's I do think I love when shows have a shorter runtime. I am like The Bear, and also, you know, I watch a lot of Japanese shows which always have typically like 22-minute long episodes. They don't really dip into the like, you know, this episode is 2 hours long. This episode is like an hour and 10 minutes.
Atlanta had that too, you know.
What was that?
Atlanta had that as well, where they had shorter episodes.
Yes, and I feel like it really they were able to tell a really refined, tight story for the time that they had. Especially with these more like character focused ones, where it's like this episode is about so and so, and you kind of get to follow them around.
That restriction to kind of like increase the sense of urgency, almost.
Definitely, yeah.
They have a few, you know, they have several that go to like 30, 33 minutes. I think there's only one that even comes close to the normal like 45 minutes.
Yeah, there's that hour-long Seven Fishes episode.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that one is an hour. That's right.
But that's like a very rare, like, that's the only time it's happened. It's not like they do like an episode a season that's the hour episode. It was like one time they were like, hey, this is a really like important like thing. It's like a dinner. And prepping for the dinner and everyone filing in for the dinner, and it's an hour of constant stress and anxiety.
So what you're saying is that was the Bears' Crisis on Infinite Earths, in a way.
I don't know what that means.
Oh.
I'm still at Rodan 2 or something. I don't know where the fuck I left off.
You wish there was a Rodan 2.
I do. It's because Rodan 1 was so good.
It really is
fantastic.
But I do recommend everyone. I mean, obviously, it's not like it's private knowledge that you should go see The Bear, but I mean, I'll say it again. The Bear really is everything that they hype it up to be.
Yeah,
like it's worth all the hype.
I still haven't seen it, so
yeah, man, it's on Hulu. And it's one of the few shows that actually like comes out like at a respectable classic time of like, hey, we did a season. It's a year later. Here's a second season. Hey, it's another year. Here's another season.
Isn't that great?
Which is like outstanding. You don't see that nowadays.
You mean it's not every like 2 years?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's good.
Isn't it? I think it's perfect, man. It's like, thank you so much for caring, and I mean, it helps that it's like a show set in like a restaurant.
Yeah.
You got
Thank you, Chef.
Thank you, Chef.
I was hoping you'd say that. Give you 110.
Yeah, so many good characters, and also like it does the Babylon 5 thing where there's a character at season 1, episode 1 that you're like, fuck this guy. And then by season 3, you're like, you know what? You're my favorite character, and I'm so proud of how much you've grown in this time.
Yeah.
It's where you're almost like, can he be the main character? Yeah. And also, it has a funny thing as the show goes on, especially in season 3. They it's like the show, because it's so good, everybody wants to guest star on it. So you'll be watching it, and you'll just get jump scared by someone. Like some big like actor, and you're like, help, and they're just like in a scene, and then they're gone.
They were just in the area. They were like, "Hey,
I want to be in The Bear. Please let me be in The Bear, because it gets 1,000 awards.
Best comedy. Wait,
what?
It's so funny. It's labeled a comedy, and for the first like 75% of season 1, it's like, yeah, this is a comedy with like dramatic, and then you get to like the end of season 1, you're like, nah, this isn't a comedy.
Oh no.
Then you get to season 3, and is like, you give me anxiety and ulcers and nightmares, and I think I have a mental illness because of you.
Oh shit.
It's so fun. Yeah, it's the thing that when I'm watching it with Sean, we'll watch like a really traumatic scene and go, wow, best comedy of the year.
Yeah.
Listen, what is
All
comedy
right.
but release of catharsis, you know?
All right, I have one last question before I depart.
Yes.
Both you gentlemen. It's kind of twofold. Are you still intending to see, and have you heard any discourse regarding Joker Folie?
I've heard it's a mess. And yes, I will be watching.
I've heard nothing, but I will be watching. I've been willfully not hearing things, but if you've heard things, I'd be curious to hear.
Basically what Sal said, I've heard it's a complete mess. But you know, I liked Megalopolis kinda, so
sing hallelujah, come on, get happy, get ready for the judgment day.
It's very interesting. Because again, the first Joker movie I think is like a good movie, but I don't worship at its altar. I won't die on a hill to defend it or anything. But the interesting thing about this new one is the amount of various kind of what seem to be issues people have with it, and I'm very curious to like know, are these people fans of the first movie? Did these people not like the first movie and wanted to give this a chance? Are these, you know, like it's very interesting to know what's going on. But I think it'll be probably alongside Megalopolis one of the most controversial movies of the year, from what I've heard. But
well, see, one of these days, I need to take both of you lads, and I'll just force you to marathon the Hangover trilogy. Not because I think you'll particularly get anything out of it. I kind of just want to study what you think as things change over time in that franchise. And
Who did this?
You know, that could be fun because I've heard weird things. So
Yeah, it's watching the first movie, you would not imagine what the third movie is like. So, that is his bridge to Joker. So
good. Well, gents, I'm gonna log off and go to rehearsal. Thanks so much for letting me come on for the start of this. Have a good podcast and a good night, and everyone, just keep shuttling. All right.
of course, thanks for calling in, our honored guest and dear friend, and enjoy your rehearsal.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Chef.
Love you, Bubby.
You're welcome, Chef. Love you guys. Love you, Chef.
Thank you, Chef.
Love you guys. Bye.
That's all, my friend.
This motherfucker.
All right, the Josiah part is over, motherfuckers.
We covered so much more ground in that than I would have expected.
I loved it. I thought it was great. Good for us.
That's fantastic.
We killed it. But hey, I have a whole I think 1/5 of the thumbnail left to cover up with stuff, so we gotta keep talking.
Okay.
That's it. It's all you had. I will say words then.
Okay.
I have words to say.
I'm looking at my letterbox to see if I have other things.
Let's see. Ooh. Let me check. I have to go on my phone because I have in addition to Letterboxd, I now have an app called Serialized, not sponsored, or it's basically Letterboxd for TV shows.
Oh.
Because I didn't like that you can do that in Letterboxd, so I got an app instead.
Well, you can, but inconsistently, so it's almost worse.
Yeah, it's like, oh hey, we have a special.
Yeah,
it's dumb.
Oh, also, to fill time while you look at that, even though you're probably ready now. I'm just going to talk more anyway. I forgot to mention last week, but one of the movies that I included in my Alien Predator watch through was Alien 2 on Earth. Salvatore, are you familiar?
Okay, you said the words Alien 2 on Earth.
Alien 2 : on Earth.
I don't like what I'm seeing, but I've never heard of this. Oh no, Italian. Fuck.
Well, because we had Alien and Aliens and Alien Cubed, but whatever happened to Alien 2?
You're right. That's a good point.
So this movie's the biggest load of dog shit. It's terrible. It actually offends me that it exists. I looked up trivia, and there is actual reports that the director spent the majority of the budget on hookers and blackjack. So and that shows in the movie.
Dude, Italians just get it done.
Shit, I guess. Fuck. Man, I still respected Italian cinema after Paganini Horror, but this movie, I'm at least you could have, I wasn't expecting it to be a good, proper follow-up to Alien, but at least entertain me. But it just feels like you've been conned, and it's just purely a waste of time. It's a miserable experience. So
you're saying
that you've heard of it,
you're saying that the Italian ripoff sequel to Alien wasn't good?
Not only that, but not even so bad it's good, because I've seen some good old schlocky, cheap Italian movies.
It wasn't so bad it's good, it was just bad?
It was just bad, dude.
I expected more of the Italians than making a purely bad movie.
I know. Well, again, half the budget on hookers and blow, and then he asked for more, and they were like, no, make your fucking movie. And he was like, oh, shit.
It's like,
He
Stonad.
You never see the Alien because they couldn't afford.
You don't see the Alien in Alien 2?
No.
What the fuck?
But you get Alien POV, where he got random meat giblets from the butcher and has it kind of flapping against the corners of the camera to make it look like, I don't know.
Dude, this movie's so low quality I can't even find a good image to add to the thumbnail.
Oh no, don't worry about
Like
it.
it looks it's just garbage. It's just a bunch of Italians wandering around the mines.
That's the movie.
Oh God.
The way I described it was, this movie is like a correction of a correction. This movie is like a collection of B footage that they occasionally tell you there's an alien around to make it seem like there's a running narrative. It's like 90% of the movie is people like drinking beer at a bar or going bowling or exploring a cave. Like, it's just
I'd rather watch The Descent.
Yeah, no, 100%. Oh fuck, that was another bit of trivia that I found out. So
No.
when get this is Sal, you come from a long and illustrious line of bold and audacious Italians, exemplified here.
Go on.
When The Descent was coming out, the director of Alien 2 on Earth heard that it was a very similar concept, and he attempted to sue them for, infringing on his story.
Let me recap this, because I also want to see Sean's face, who's in the room, when I recap this. You're telling me that the director of Alien 2 on Earth, who basically made a movie where he just set it in a mine shaft with people like spelunking, and then didn't show the alien at all, got upset that The Descent was ripping off of his movie?
Yes.
He thinks that The Descent ripped off Alien 2 on Earth?
Yes.
Because it has monsters in a mine shaft?
Yes. Precisely.
That's amazing. I love Italians, dude.
He might have caught something from one of the escorts, and it just eroded his brain over the decades. I don't know. But the irony of that was incredible.
Wow, thank you so much, Chef. Back to what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, please.
So I watched the premiere, the first episode of Junji Ito's Uzumaki show anime.
Yeah. Oh, fuck you. I'm looking at the picture you sent. Anyway.
Oh, yes, for the audience, I sent a picture of I Prefer the Real Alien follow-up, and it has the Michael Fassbender from X-Men, and it's just aliens. I said the Real Alien follow-up, Alien Isolation, Perfection, Alien 2 on Earth.
God.
But I watched Uzumaki, which is it's called, I think the full title is Uzumaki Spiral into Horror. I think is the full anime name, which it's going to be a mini series because there's adapting the Uzumaki manga,
which is pretty short, isn't it?
It's pretty short, yeah. So it's just like 4 episodes.
Oh wow.
But I watched the first episode and it was pretty good. It's a lot of I've tried watching a lot of Junji Ito adaptations over the years, and honestly, like, a lot of them aren't very good. And
I don't know if I've seen any of their work.
And they try to like do them like, I don't know how to describe it really, but like they color it and it doesn't seem right. It's just not great. This one, I think, so far has been the best because it's in black and white, which is fantastic. And I think they're really like there's a lot of shots in Uzumaki that are like just ripped from the manga, which is, I think, the right call.
Yeah, that's what you want to do.
And yeah, like, solid as fuck so far. Pretty fucking good. Excited to see it continue. Excited to see the rest of Uzumaki. Hopefully it's good. Or keeps being good. It's always nice to have it, like pull frames from the manga and also be in 2D and not fucking gross 3D or whatever. Like certain things that try to pull frames. Oh Christ! The file I got for this is like what's an AVIF file. What the fuck is that? Help.
America's Funniest Home Videos.
Get the fuck right out of town.
Anyway, just to confirm with you, you said that Uzumaki does it the best. Does it do it good?
I think it's good so far.
Okay.
Like, I'm hyped for the second episode.
All right.
Which I think doesn't happen super often. With these Junji Ito shows. I kind of watched the first episode or two, and I'm like, man, where's the sauce?
Yeah, I was able to confirm. I don't think I've seen anything of Junji Ito.
Yeah.
What's their shtick? What's their whole?
I'd say Uzumaki is the most like famous manga.
Oh wow.
I'd argue.
All right.
How have I
of
not
all time?
Yeah.
Or
here, Junji Ito. What else have they done? Oh, you know the forget the name of it, but I think it's the manga where it's like the people are there's like human shaped holes in the mountainside, and they're like, this hole is my size.
I've seen that. I've seen the meme.
Pretty sure that's them. You have to read some Junji Ito, bro.
Is it all creepy horror stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It'll fuck you up.
I think the closest I've ever come has been well, you know what I'm saying. I think the closest I've ever Junji'd is Parasite the Maxim, you know.
I'd say that's similar, yeah.
Yeah, that's the vibe that Uzumaki was giving me, because I was like, there's holes in their heads. That's all I got.
Man, there's not a lot of good thumbnail possibilities. That's okay. I'll make it work.
Yeah.
That's fine. There we go. I'm going to hide you behind Carmi from the bear, and no one will know. Yeah, it's hard to describe like Junji Ito's work without really like showing like everything.
Okay.
But it's just because it's like mainly like a Japanese like manga artist writer who does like short like horror stories.
Okay.
I felt really good imagery.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because the just from what little I've seen of Uzumaki, it's very distinct.
Yes, and I do like how this adaptation keeps the black and white look.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Because I don't think I've seen an anime that does that. So good on them.
Exactly. What else have I been doing? I watched the second episode of The Penguin today.
Oh shit, we're up to 2.
Up to 2. It keeps being good.
Good.
The Penguin keeps hitting, bro.
I'm glad.
Yeah, he's making moves, making deals in the Falcone family. It's just Batman Sopranos. It's good. I mean, it's good quality. Can't say much without spoiling it, obviously.
Sure, but it is I assume between the Batman and the Batman Part 2. It's not like prequel or I know there's some like flashbacks.
I think it's like a few weeks after the Batman.
Okay.
And then I think that the Batman Part 2 is going to be like at the end of the year.
Okay. Has the city drained out?
Bro, that's what's great too, is that like everyone's feeling the effects of the Riddler.
Oh man.
Like basically like, you know, the Penguin's whole like fake drug operation got fucked because of the Riddler. Mm-hmm. There's a character that's with the Penguin a lot who his whole like area got flooded and destroyed. He doesn't have a home anymore.
Oh man.
Yeah. And there's some bits where it's like, you know, someone's really fucked up and they're like, yeah, we'll blame the Riddler. So the presence of the Riddler and his actions are very present in the show.
That's good.
Like, it really is like connected, and it's kind of cool seeing like how the Penguin uses the fallout of the Riddler to gain more power within the Falcone crime family.
Okay.
Which you love to see.
Oh yeah. So I love climbing the evil corporate ladder.
Yeah, because it really does a good job of humanizing Oz. Like, it really feels like, man, this guy, you know, he's doing his best. He's really trying.
Yeah, as hammy as I remember him being in the Batman, I do love that he's just a dude.
Yeah, they actually show a bit more of like why he walks that way, why he is called the Penguin. There's a really gross scene where it shows his feet and like his toes grew out weird.
Oh man.
Yeah, he's in a lot of pain all the time.
But not like the Danny DeVito, he literally has flippers.
No, he does not have flippers like Danny DeVito, unfortunately.
Okay.
No, he's actually he's fucked up, man. And I also did a rewatch of Howl's Moving Castle.
Oh yeah, I think I saw that on your Letterboxd.
Yeah, which I mean is just I think I appreciated it way more this time around than I ever did when I was younger. I think the themes hit me harder as an adult. Like the loving someone unconditionally, the growing older and like being kind of happy with like your lot in life and making the most of it and like wanting like a quiet, simple life, and it hit harder than it ever did before. And also, can I just say, like, the magic fights in that movie, the way they're animated, man, I need some more animated wizard movies. Because holy fuck. Like,
see, it's funny because I don't think I've ever seen Howl's Moving Castle. Because I saw, what did I see? I saw Spirited Away and My Neighbor Totoro like 10 years ago, and I was like, this sucks. Like, I don't think I like Miyazaki films, so I'm not gonna watch anymore. And then I accidentally watched Secret World of Arrietty, not knowing that it was Miyazaki, and I was like, oh fuck, it's a Miyazaki film. That makes sense. And so I've just put a ban on myself. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he's got other films that are more to my liking, but I know that Spirited Away is like one of his big ones that everyone's like, oh, it's great.
Yeah, it is great. You should try again. Restart. Honestly, try Princess Mononoke.
Yeah.
That might be a better gateway drug for you.
It's fair.
Howl's also good. You know what? You should just start with Graveyard of the Fireflies. Don't Google anything about it. Just watch it.
I've seen Graveyard of the Fireflies.
Oh, okay.
I think I had to watch that in like a history class. Or
oh, really?
Shit.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
You should try Ghibli again. You should try it one more time. It's 10 years. You should go again.
It's fair.
Between then and now, your frontal cortex has fully developed.
That's a good point.
You're a different person now. All of the skin that you had then is now new skin.
That's right. All my cells, they've all been replaced.
Yeah, you're not the same man you once were.
It's true. I think. Wait, have I also seen Ponyo? I think I've seen clips of Ponyo.
I need to watch Ponyo. I've not seen that one yet.
This looks eldritch.
It's funny. We watched Howl's and then we checked the. I think AMC always does like a Ghibli movie every month, and we saw that this month it was Howl's, and I'm like, gosh, shit, we could have just gone to the theater.
Yeah.
Damn it. But yeah, oh fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, go watch more Ghibli movies. They're all on Max, I think, or at least most of them are.
That sounds right, because I think they're all Warner Brothers distributing.
Yes, they weren't always. It's funny. I think I was watching the credits for Howl's, and they talked about I saw Disney in there, and I was like, ha. Well, yeah. I guess Warner Brothers occasionally does the right thing. Occasionally. Oh man, I didn't grab a thumbnail for Howls. Yeah, and then I don't know. That's about it. I've been trying to play some more Deadlock, but it's been tough because I keep getting my ass beat. And like ruthlessly destroyed. Like it's been really fucking bad, man. I'm not good at this game. I'm terrible. But I'm trying. I'm trying my darndest over here.
Yeah, it's all about the grind.
It's all about the grind. That's right. God, what am I? Okay, I gotta find a good way to incorporate this into the thumbnail. I gotta move whoever the Skeletor man is, Doctor Doom. All right.
Oh shit.
He's taking us.
Doctor Doomamaggio.
Yes. Okay, there.
I think I'm let's see. I'm almost done reading the Golden Age arc of Berserk.
Okay.
So I'm on deluxe volume number 5 out of 14? I forget. I think 14. At 3 volumes of pop. So I think I'm on volume 13, something like that. So that's been great. I think once I finish this read through, my next one I'm gonna go more. I'm gonna try straight up chronological, because then I can get the Black Swordsman and Lost Children back to back, and just really fuck my shit up.
Oh my goodness!
But I'm also excuse me. I decided to do a little bit of a King Arthur retrospective. So I made a list of all the movies and shows and parodies and things. I haven't started watching, but I have been reading Le Morte d'Arthur, which is that's a thick book. That's a toughie. I've tried a couple times and haven't been able to finish it, so I hope this time it sticks. But I've been kind of like, I've been toying around with this idea for a while, where I'm like, I would love to try to write my own version of that story, because King Arthur is so fucking weird, where like so many of the big adaptations are incomplete.
Rest in peace, King Arthur, Legend of the Sword.
Yeah, that one, and also Once and Future King. Like I haven't personally read it, but I know that he was working on like the 5th part of it when he passed away, and it's like partially there. I've heard that 4 is still like a good spot to end it, but I'll be curious to see what it's like to read that part. But the other thing I was really interested in was in collecting my research material. I discovered the Prince Valiant comic, which have you heard of that?
No, what?
So Prince Valiant is
to the Google machine.
Yeah, please. If not the longest, it is one of the longest Sunday newspaper comic strips.
Oh my god.
That it's been going since like 1937. And it's always, just that one page every Sunday. I think eventually it drops down to a half page every Sunday, but it is like this weird like extra Arthur lore. It's obviously it's an OC and all that, but it's just weird that is like a shadow prominent figure of American comic literature that I was completely unfamiliar with.
Yeah, I've never heard no one talk about this ever.
Yeah, but there's like 2 film adaptations and an animated series.
The hell?
So I'm like, what the fuck is this? So I've been trying to track down some copies. I've heard there's some good bundles that they I think it's Fantagraphs or something like that. They collect like 2 years worth of the comic together. So I hope that is, again, I haven't actually been able to read any of it because I can't find it.
That's even crazier.
Yeah, and I haven't like used the fullest of my online resources to obtain it, but also I'm kind of like, who the fuck is creating digital copies of a Sunday comic? But apparently it's really interesting. They never use word bubbles. It's entirely just like descriptive text, is my understanding. Yeah, so I'm very curious. I don't know how much I'll use that at all in whatever Arthur work I try to do, but it's just very intrigued.
You have Prince Valiant show up for one scene, completely like historically lore accurate to the comic, just gets fucking memed.
Well, see, I know that the only like major detail I know about the Prince Valiant comic is that apparently he has a sword that is made by the same person that made Excalibur. So I'm like, oh shit,
serious intro, yeah.
Yeah, I gotta. Oh shit! Oh god! I'm not reading The Witcher to prep for it.
No. The Witcher counts as King Arthur lore. You have to read it, and how coincidental that is, because we have 5 more books to review.
No, it's too tangential. Maybe Prince Valiant was in The Witcher, but
bro, the whole 5th book is mainland book is named after King Arthur stuff. You have to read it.
Yeah, you're right.
I know it ties in. It's the most important King Arthur media out there, actually.
Oh shit! God damn!
I had the thumbnail ready, but the Prince Valiant stuff was too interesting to not put into the thumbnail, so I'm not redoing it.
Oh, cool. Yeah, cool.
I gotta put in Prince Valiant because that's to be like the someone's gonna see that on YouTube and go, what the fuck? Why are they talking about Prince Valiant?
That's the other thing, dude. I'm like, okay, well, if I can't actually read it, there's got to be some fucking nerd video essay that's gonna sum it up for me. I can't find fucking shit.
What, not even like Comic Drake did it?
No, I don't think so.
You should check out Comic Drake is my go-to comic guy.
Comic Drake, okay.
Sorry, Penguin, I'm putting in Prince Valiant.
Oh shit!
I took out Oz Cobble and put in Prince Valiant. There we go. Man. Sorry, man. I'll sneak Oz in behind, like in the distance, really small.
Put him in the Hellboy position.
Okay, so Oz is now leering over Prince Valiant, upset that he lost his spot in the thumbnail.
Perfect.
Here's I think, Nathan, it'll be a fun thing to do is if you ever do get your hands on some Prince Valiant comics, we should do live readings on the Shuttlecast.
Oh shit, yeah, that'd be good.
Because I bet you no one else has done this.
No, I'd be very surprised.
Comics Kingdom. I'm helping you now on air. I'm helping you. Wait a second.
Kingdom.
Hold on a second. See latest. When's the latest Prince Valiant? September. Yesterday, 2 days ago. There's a new Prince Valiant.
Yeah. Oh, it's still going, baby.
What?
Yeah, man. I think it's on like its 3rd artist now. But that is the other thing that made me intrigued, because one of the things I hate about American comics is that it just gets like any IP just gets passed around like a whore. Whereas Prince Valiant was like, I think it was the OG artist for like 30 plus years, and then he passed it on to someone else, and so it's like, cool.
The oldest issue the site has is from January 6th, 1980.
Oh damn.
So I'm sending it to you right now, so you have it.
Oh yeah.
No problem. I got you. But wow.
Yeah, that's pretty funky.
But it has to be from earlier, because I saw a thing where it was the 1950s movie.
Yeah, Bubby.
Oh my god, wait, Amazon? Prince Valiant Volume 1, 1937 to 38. Oh god, I saw it by the year. Oh my god, $51. This is used, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, they do sell them technically.
They do. Oh yeah, I can get the physical. I've been wanting to get that first one to see if it's worth my time.
Did they not even have it on like Kindle?
I don't think so.
Book 1 of 26 of Prince Valiant, motherfucker.
I think that's old too, because I think my understanding is the people that are making the collection bundles now, they just released volume 29 a couple months ago.
Okay.
Which I think they said is the last of the OG artists, but they do want to continue on. So I think, when the fuck? I don't know, man.
Well, again, hey, if you buy the first 22 volumes on Amazon, then after that it's 1980s, and you can just read on Comics Kingdom.
Oh yeah, you're right.
You only have to buy the first 22 hardcover volumes of Prince Valiant.
Listen, that's not bad.
That's not nothing. We will become the Prince Valiant channel.
I'm gonna learn it all. I'm gonna completely forget that I was focusing just on King Arthur. I'm gonna be like, no, this is why the world is ready for the new Prince Valiant film adaptation.
That's right. I want to pitch the Prince Valiant movie. Fuck, dude, listen, this is hilarious.
This is the leading comic of the New York Times, which means you could probably get it for pennies on the dollar.
You know what I want to do with Prince Valiant? What? I want to find one of the rare times George R.R. Martin goes to like a convention, and he has a panel where he can ask questions, and everyone's asking him about like Winds of Winter and stuff. And I'm gonna walk up and be like, George, what are your thoughts on the newest run of Prince Valiant? And I'm sure he has fucking opinions.
I bet
you money George Martin knows about Prince Valiant and also has opinions about certain arcs. And then he'll go on like a 15-minute diatribe about it, and everyone will be mad at me that I didn't ask a Game of Thrones question. You ever see George R. R. Martin interviews where someone in the panel asks him like a New York Giants question, and George lights the fuck up and talks for 10 minutes? And everyone in the comments is like, George, please stop talking about the New York Giants.
Damn. No, I have not, but I can imagine.
I want to be that guy so bad.
I would love to talk to George about Prince Valiant, see what he thinks.
Yeah, man, and nothing else.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't want to worry him about anything else.
Listen, I no longer have any expectations, so
I'm just happy he's happy, man. Like whenever he makes a not a blog about like him doing anything, I'm like, I just hope you had a good time, man. I just hope that was fulfilling for you. I now really am invested in Prince Valiant.
I know. Yeah, no.
I'm obsessed.
I originally shrugged it off because I was like, I'm focusing more on the main stuff, and then I was like, you know what? I want to be as thorough as possible. And then I looked into it more, and I was like, oh my god, this is immense.
I just love his hair.
It's so great. He's such a handsome boy.
Oh my god! And on every issue of the comic on Comics Kingdom, it's like, hey, buy a print of this comic. Just have a house or the walls or the entire run of Prince Valiant from 1953 to 1987.
Listen, I want it, man. If it wasn't so goddamn expensive, I would have started collecting it already.
Seriously. Hey, Sean, did you know that someone made a King Arthur OC character Do Not Steal as a comic strip, and it's been going since the 30s and it's still being updated? Look at that hair. Look at the bob. Look at that. Look at his swag.
Is that Farquaad Superman?
No, it's Prince Valiant. Famous American.
That's pretty accurate, though.
It is accurate. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, we just crested the 87th anniversary.
Wait, Sean might have a point. Do you think Farquaad is a Prince Valiant reference?
I don't know. I don't know enough about Prince Valiant.
Do you think it's a deep pull?
And the reason he's so short is because Prince Valiant only ever has one page at a time.
Oh my god. I don't think we're going to top this in the podcast. I think we got to end it, bro. I don't know if there's anything else we could say that could top Prince Valiant.
I feel you. Listen, it's an American epic.
Other than I have one small thing to talk about. Very small. I have a current addiction.
Oh.
I'm not a mobile game person, but there's a game that I've known about, and it recently came out on mobile. It's called Balatro. Which is it's basically like poker solitaire, where you get dealt a hand of poker cards, and you have to like make poker hands and beat the score, and it gets increasingly more and more difficult. But every time you do like a round, you get to go to the shop, and in the shop you could buy jokers, and you could have up to 5 jokers, and they give you special modifiers to your hand. And then you can also buy booster packs that will like level up how much you get if you play a straight flush or a full house or a pair or a 3 of a kind. And then every 3 rounds you fight a like a boss that has some weird stipulation, like you can't play any club cards this during this fight. And the idea is that like you, as you're going through it, you find new jokers, you boost your cards. There's tarot cards that give you really weird like abilities. You can buy new poker cards that have like weird abilities on them too. And the idea is that like you're trying to get your way to the end, but like you're kind of supposed to lose kind of often, at least at first. And the fun is that every time it's like completely different jokers, completely different booster packs and cards you can get. It's so addicting.
So it sounds like Poker the Gathering.
It's Poker Binding of Isaac.
Oh God.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Jesus.
And it's
interesting.
And now that, and you know, I saw it a few months ago, and it was on like Steam, and I was like, I don't know if I want to like play like a poker card game on my computer. But it came out on a mobile, and I was like, all right, that sounds more like my speed, and I'm on this thing all the time. I'm like, I gotta do one more run, one more hand. I can do it. Oh, I just lost. I can do better next time. I'll go again. It's and this hit me. The music is great. The sound effects are amazing. It is engineered to just have you like keep trying and going again. And I'm like, man, I kind of know poker hands now.
Yeah, that's a lot more than I know.
I did not know poker hands 2 days ago.
Damn.
But I just want to end on Balatro because it's a lot of fun. And I've been seeing people like at concerts and festivals and sports games, and it'll like be someone in the crowd taking a picture of someone else in the crowd, and they're playing Balatro.
Sweeping the nation.
I saw one concert where they brought the camera over to the guy and they put it on the big screen.
Oh no.
So everyone should check it out. It's a lot of fun. Support indie games. And it's a good it's a good pooping game.
Oh, okay.
You sit down and you don't want to like doom scroll through Twitter, and you're like, you know what? I bet I could do a run of Balatro right now. I did have Taco Bell last night.
I'm waiting. I finished this issue of Prince Valiant. I need something else to do while I'm pooping.
To reward myself for finishing another month of Prince Valiant comics, I'm gonna play some Balatro. Because it's thematic, because kings, jesters, queens.
No, I feel you.
You're basically playing. I do want the Prince Valiant deck in Balatro.
Oh shit.
God damn. It's good time. It's a good $10 because that way you don't get it's not free, which is I think good, honestly, because I hate free phone games because you play them and guess what? Half the fucking screen is ads. Yeah,
the price you pay isn't always from your wallet when it comes to free mobile games.
So I'm like, $10 for Balatro. There's no chance of ads. Amazing. Thank you, Chef.
Yeah, that's worth it. And that way I feel like you can actually hold it to a standard. Because if you play a free mobile game and it sucks, it's just like, whatever.
I guess that was a free mobile game I played.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, I paid it. All right, let's go. Yeah, check it out. It's a good waiting for the bus. It's like, it's gonna be here in 3 minutes. I could play some Balatro.
I feel you.
I'm waiting in line. I can play some Balatro. It's bad. I'll bust this thing out anywhere. Like Sean will look at me like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm playing Balatro.
I could have used that while I was waiting for Megalon because I got there like 30 minutes early, and I was like,
bro,
oh,
I actually did. There was a point early in the movie where I was like, Sean, if this movie's bad, I'm busting out Balatro in the theater. It kept my attention the whole time, but I was ready. I had my phone on for the first time in forever because I was like, listen, if this movie sucks, I need something.
You were on the verge, but then you had Auntie Wow, and you were like, all right.
And she was like, other people are anal, but I'm oral. And I was like, I'm listening, I'm here.
After Adam Driver's like quoting Shakespeare.
And then she's like, I'm oral. Fuck me, Caesar. And he's like, you know, my wife died, and I made unobtainium.
Did you kill your wife to make unobtainium? No, but there's a correlation there. Oh God.
Anyway, guys, this has been the Shuttlecast, and I have the thumbnail ready. I'm gonna do this forever. Yeah. This is such a better idea than doing it the next day, trying to remember what we talked about.
Yeah, because you just have your list of stuff.
Yeah,
like, wait.
But this is funnier because, like, as we talked, I was like, "Oh wait, that's not as important," or "I'll move this around." That was good. I might even, I might try to at some point, maybe do a thing where, if I can set it up just right, I'll have the video be me making the thumbnail in real time.
There you go.
That'd be fun.
Cool. Yeah.
I'll have to figure out how to make it so that it stays on the screen, but I'll make it work.
Yeah, I feel you.
But anyway, I've been Sam.
I've been Nathan.
I'm gonna go watch some Kamen Rider.
I'm gonna keep seeing if I could find Prince Valiant.
Please, we need to fucking read. I'm so excited now. I love his fucking dope ass bob, man.
It's so perfectly coiffed.
When's Prince Valiant skin dropping in Fortnite?
Oh shit! There's got to be at least a few Prince Valiant magic cards by now, you know.
If there isn't, I'm gonna go fucking hit up Wizards of the Coast right now and be like, "Where's my goddamn Prince Valiant Commander deck?"
Maybe it's got its own card game series.
Prince Valiant, the card game.
Yeah, you can take a break from StarQuest and become the foremost Prince Valiant card playing game.
I have 3 more booster packs of StarQuest or 3 more boxes of booster packs to open. I need to get back on it. It's tough.
You do. There's gold in those packs. You gotta look. I
have 3 boxes of ready to sell cards of the ones that I'm not keeping. Okay, I gotta get on. Maybe I'll have one of you guys be on there with me as I'm opening cards, so it's less, me talking to myself.
There we go. Yeah, get a little dialogue in there.
Exactly. We'll just talk about Prince Valiant. All right. Goodbye, everyone.
Ta-ta.